So I'm just doing a bit of a warning. You might be wondering about what the end game goal of this game is. Is it as bad as they say? I want to say straight out, I want to give this a positive review out of 10. I have played over 50 hours in the game. I beat it on my main character, he's level 32. I've done the other three up one playthroughs. They're around 18 to 20 to 21, depending upon how many vampire nests and that you do, how much exploring you do. But I think I've seen lots of reviews making rush early judgments. They've got a couple of hours in the game. They want to get their channel out. I don't do this for a channel. I don't make any money out of this. I just do it to help others. And I think that the game has unfairly, yes, it's got bugs, but they weren't game-stopping bugs, you know. I have played co-op and I have played solo. One of my characters is purely co-op that I play with my son. And there was a lot of problems with co-op. One, it was too easy. There's a bug that the difficulty isn't scaling with co-op. And not only that, even like if I just let him shoot nothing and I'm shooting, I'm triple more powerful for some reason. So co-op, we had to really just turn up the game difficulty to max to midnight. And it does unlock Eclipse level. That isn't to say we didn't die. And also Redfall, like any starting area in a game, is easier. Once you get to Burial Point here, it gets harder. Now I want to do a warning. That is, once you get this Black Sun mission, it's the last boss in the game. You can see there the mission progression. And if you go to the map, you'll be sent over there. Once that happens, the game restarts without really a lot of warning. You kill the boss, you'll get your last, little vampire god remnant here, which has some other stats on it, and it's quite nice as well. Obviously, the last boss gives you usually the best stuff. But it just started again. I thought that I had some things to do on some vampire nests. I wanted to do some more hunting on some rook storms just to get fill out that meter. Because once you go back to Redfall, you've got to get that first rook at the lighthouse before this meter starts back up. Because that's your main way of getting legendary weapons in the game. And one hint about killing rooks, just a quick one by the way, is, I haven't even got legendaries on these guys, but freeze them with the Medusa, and this is for the special vampires as well. You know, like the siphons will pull you in and they can just kill you. Do that, and then when it's frozen, and keep it on them a little bit longer to freeze them, just to make sure they're well frozen with the UV light, then swap to that quickly. There's a timer on it, and then get a headshot in for the crit, and it usually one shot with a stake gun, a rook, even on midnight. We've done that. So that's the hardest stuff in the game, I think, but that combination is really wonderful. And obviously each character has its skills for survivability. So what would I do? It's the end game. The developers have said it's more like a Far Cry game. And it is a beautiful game. I love the daytime scenes, the nighttime scenes, the moonlight, the fog, all had the atmosphere, and the music and the sounds and the birds in the morning. I think this is a wonderful game, and you don't sink 50 hours into a game. At least I don't. If I don't like it, I'm out of there. I think it's a beautiful game. The story is good. There are some bugs, but they are able to be worked around if you do a quick look up. I think the main thing that is glitchy in the game is the psychic echoes. And just a tip on that make sure you click the psychic echo. You only kill one Sin Eater at a time. You click it. If you can't interact with it, sorry, it's bugged. You'll have to start at the safe house. But it will come back to that point. That's 5 minutes lost. And I had that happen twice on the 5-6 playthroughs I've done now. But you do one Sin Eater at a time and wait until the vision is finished and you see the completion in your quest. That's the important thing to avoid. I think that's the biggest game-breaking bug. I saw a Reddit post with a guy that said, game-breaking bug, can't progress the game. Obviously he didn't reload and go back to the location. But it's not just clicking that collects it. That doesn't do the collecting. That just, the Sin Eater is one part of it, and the second part is waiting for the vision to finish its little dialogue. Then you'll see the auto-complete on it. If you've run away to kill the second Eater, and you're not Sin Eater, and you're not in the vicinity of that, you'll have to click it again and wait for the full duration to get credit. So, biggest tip is wait, and I think that's a flaw in the game design, because a lot of people with ADHD, myself included, run around, kill, click for the story. especially on second playthroughs, and it bugs out the progression and you've got to restart it again. Now, things to do, I would say before leaving and doing this last quest is, let's look at the map here. There are a couple of side quests, and I have got the achievement for doing all side quests in both Redfall, which most of those you'll get by seeing the little exclamation marks, and you will be sent to the vicinity on the mission, so you don't miss those if you're observant. But in this area, that is not the case. The NPCs give you most of them in the Maritime Centre, but there's one here that is vicinity-based, Direwood Caverns, and if you walk into there, you'll auto get a quest. I won't talk about it for spoilers reason, but that's one of the hidden side quests. I'd call it hidden. Another one which is very easy to miss if you're not a really careful explorer is in the Wellness Centre, which there it is. That's where you have to kill the channelers in there, and you go through a red psychic door, and you come out, and in the psychic door at the very end of the visions, you'll pick up a key that's Miss Whisperer's key. Now, just up in the corner here where my mouse is a little room you would have killed one of the 3 channelers with a door that is locked and needs that key. So when you killed the channeler, and if you discovered it, it would have said needs the key, and the key you got in the vision. So when you come out of the door, it just says go back to the main centre for your next quest. Don't go into there, open the door. As soon as you step foot in the stairwell, a secondary side mission will pop up for you. So really easy side missions to miss if you want to complete those. I like completing everything and seeing all of the game, would be that one as well. And then the only other thing I would say is many of you would have gone to Blackwood House, found some photos on the floor. There is a map under the photos with 3 locations you've got to go to get 3 keys. Once you get the 3 keys, and one of those doors upstairs in Blackwood House will have another key to the basement, and in the basement is the only legendary in the game, Remnant, Blackwood Family Portrait. Now, it's huge, 690 health, but you can see there, just by killing vampires, you get 15% of your health back. That can be really helpful for doing the vampire nests along the way, but just in general, that can save you by just killing some vampires and keeping your health up. Also consume medical supply to generate 20% of your magic. Dust healing fills up the residue for your main ultimate power is pretty good, and your emergency healing rate, especially on this guy that has a stealth. It's very powerful, this guy. I wasn't sure about stealth play at first, but for solo, you can do that. And this game is this gun is really loaded slow. It's the most powerful gun in the game, bossing and vampire wise. But you can just go invisible, reload, and go back to it. Or you can get healed, for instance, in the middle of a fight, and everything will just stop. Even the Rooks will stop hunting for you for a second. You can heal up, and then go back for another shot at it. Said combo, I was freezing with that and shooting with that, just as wonderful, and it's a game saver on the harder difficulties. So I think they're the only things you really want to make sure you do. Obviously, you might want to get the main way in this game that you get your legendary guns is through the Rook storms. They're guaranteed. If you die on those, you don't get a second chance. He disappears. So you really want to make sure that you know and look at this meter. Know when they're going to spawn. I've had them spawn in the middle of a mission like the Wellness Centre, and I ran out to a clearing over here so these enemies wouldn't follow me. I had like 10 enemies on me, and killed him solo. You really don't need other stuff on you because they are hard on the harder difficulties, and you don't want to miss out on one of the guns. Unfortunately on this guy, it's RNG. It's the way these games go. As I said, it's more like a Far Cry game with a story than it is a Borderlands where there's an end game. But there is a Borderlands component, the RNG of getting guns. One other thing about guns here, and I don't use the pistol so much because, well, there's one pistol that does execute the vampires, but I find that the CAS special is wonderful. It's great ammo. It's conservative on using ammo. The perfectly normal is very good as well, but it does burn through ammo very quickly. Shotgun's good for close and personal, the lockjaw and so forth, or the disproportionate response, I think one of the better games. Now, the only time I've seen the legendary sniper is on this character. So, as you can see on the special there, killing the human with this weapon reduces the Raven's active cooldown by 3 seconds. So I think you won't see that legendary on any other hero the most you'll get is a purple sniper to use. Unfortunately, that's how it is. If you like sniper, you've got to play Jacob. I think I'll leave it there. That's the things I would say to do. Blackwood House, those couple of side missions that are extra, and the other side missions are all through here. And that's about it. Have a good day. I think the game's wonderful. Don't listen to the negativity about the reviews. The game is beautiful. I've enjoyed exploring. The other thing I would say, when I first started playing this game, it's just a point about money. You might already know this. There's nothing really to spend your money on. You're going to get your legendaries that are a sure thing through the Rooks. So always fill up on ammo, and special ammo, which as these two have special ammo, isn't around the world as much, especially the stake gun, and it will fill that up. So, you know, looting trunks and all of that sort of thing will fill up your main ammo and assault rifle and shotties and pistols. But, you know, I've got 146,000 here. I've got 500,000 on my main character. Now, you could refresh at the, you know, the loot table in the main base, and I have seen legendaries on there as well if you want to burn through some money, but, you know, I just play the game, to be honest. The Rooks come up often enough, and I keep that for just reloading every time I go back to the safe house and I've emptied out my stake gun. Have a good day. Hopefully that helps. It's sort of a mini review as well, but just endgame is just continue playing really and filling out your skills. So have a good day and enjoy the game. It's $10 on PC Game Pass. Really worth it for that. In Australia, it's 120 bucks. I would not buy it on Steam for that price. That's a 20% increase from the AAAs previous to it. I mean, come on, Australia pays way too much money for the base game. I think in the US it's $69 or something. Even with the conversion rate of, say, a third, it should be around $90, $99 at the most. So I'm going to wait for it to come out on Steam in the future, and maybe some DLC, and buy it then at a reduced price when there's specials on or something, because that's just too much money. But $10 PC Game Pass, it's a bargain, and it's worth persisting through if you want to get day one play. A few bugs, and they'll fix that. Like any game. I mean, Cyberpunk was a mess when it came out, and they have improved it. You know, they've worked on the game, they've polished it, but early game it was a mess. This is not like that. There was a couple of things that I just had to restart the game. That's it. Now, you know, I've had other games where I've been stopped from finishing the game, had to wait for a patch because the main story was glitched, and you know, had to wait a couple of weeks till I could come back to the game. Well, I finished this 5 times, you know. So get in, have some fun. $10 PC Game Pass, and it is a bargain and a beautiful game to boot. Have a good day.